And it's a sad part of human history.
Yeah, and it goes back even further than that. You look at the, my kid was going through history classes in middle school. You go back to the Sumerians, further back in human history. One group of humans conquers another one through war. What's the first thing they do? They take the people they conquered as slaves. That's where slavery started. If my group or country or region has conquered yours, I now own you. You, through military might, you no longer have a defense against me. So I, as the conquering people, can do whatever the hell I want. Now, am I going to kill all of you? Maybe as that conquering leader, I might. Or I'm going to say, you know what? That's a waste. I'm going to use you for free labor. And that's where slavery came from. And that practice continues to this day. Now, were people in Africa special? No, they weren't. They were subject to that same thing. And you had different groups in Africa fighting against each other. The only difference is that they said, and it's not even a difference, they were willing to sell their own people and ship them across the world. You
Yeah.
saw other groups doing that too.
Yeah, and here in this country, and this is the other thing that keeps getting overlooked, which is slightly frustrating, is that here in this country, in the United States of America, even when it wasn't the United States of America, slavery was rampant, and it wasn't just blacks that were owned. Whites were owned. Again, Alan, it goes back to what you spoke about. When you were able to capture somebody, and you became, sadly, their owner. So whites owned slaves, Hispanics owned slaves, blacks owned slaves, Asians owned slaves, Native Americans. I mean, we all kind of, uh, again, sadly, owned each other. And Native American women, Asian women, white women, were captured. They were forced into sex trafficking, which it wasn't called sex trafficking back then. They were just put into brothels. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was an awful, awful time. And I think these parts of history keep getting lost in this one big argument, which is only one group suffered. And that's not an accurate representation of history.
Absolutely, it is not. I did pin something up top, and I want to welcome everybody else to the room. Amber, nice to see you. Moose, Josh, Simon, Jason, welcome guys to the room. I pinned this up top because one of the things, when slavery is being discussed, is we never talk about the life expectancy of slaves. And it's one of the things I usually draw out to say that, nothing about the slave experience in the United States, virtually nothing was special in comparison to slaves elsewhere, you know, especially in a global span of history. There's the life expectancy is something that was kind of shocking for me to discover. And according to Wikipedia and other sources I've seen, the highest I've seen was like 40. But the life expectancy of an adult male in the United States in 1850 was 40 years old. The average